Hey everyone, after such a wild weekend in Hollywood, we had the Oscars, we've got Charlie Sheen, Nicole and I were partying it up in Las Vegas, and the only thing that we were looking forward to was this week's Bachelor and all the fantasy suite dates.
Oh my gosh, I love the fantasy suite dates. They're romantic, they're juicy, but DeAnna, you have been there before. You've got to tell us all, how important are these dates?
The fantasy suite dates are so important because this really gives you endless amounts of time with the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. There's no producers there, there's no cameras there, there's no one telling you when, why, or what to talk about. It's just good, clean fun.
Yes, and two people that had definitely had some good, clean fun were Chantel O and Brad, who went on an amazing safari date. Their connection was there. He's comfortable with her. I love the chemistry. I feel like Brad's definitely more authentic with Chantel than any of the other girls. He even said how much he loves her spontaneity. That's the word, I believe.
That's right.
And I totally agree. I love that side of Brad. I also loved their treehouse date.
Listen, Chantel also loved it. I pretty much think that she got up and ran the second that Brad handed her that fantasy suite card. She was out of there. It was like a marathon.
Ready for it. I guarantee you they took down that treehouse, honey.
One person that I am really thankful that was ready for the fantasy suite date was Emily. Now listen, we all know, I have said it from day one, I am team Emily. I love Emily. If she's not the right person for Brad, I am begging for her to be the next Bachelorette. I am so thankful that she chose to go on the fantasy suite date. I was really afraid that she was going to turn it down because she is a mother and she's trying to set a good example, but she took the fantasy suite date. I am very happy about that. This gave her time alone with Brad to really talk and share their feelings and see. Nicole, get your mind out of the gutter. We're going to stick with Emily and say that she is a woman of respect, and I think that they just went in there and shared their feelings, and I think I'm seeing true love there.
I think I definitely see some sort of something there, but you really think they just talked in that fantasy suite?
We're going to be respectful here. What happens in the fantasy suite stays in the fantasy suite.
Darn it. Well, one thing that I'm sure was not going on in the fantasy suite was with Ashley and Brad, who I feel so bad for those two. They're so all over the place. Sometimes you see love and she's excited and they're happy, and other times it flops, and unfortunately, at such a crucial time in the process, this week they flopped. I mean, it was like reality hit. It was awkward. It was uncomfortable. She still went on the fantasy date, though. She still accepted the card, probably for a last, effort to make it work. But I knew when they were talking about mosquito nets that it was done.
And you know what? One place that it flopped as well was at the rose ceremony. Ultimately, Ashley went home. But one thing that I really respect Brad for was not making Ashley suffer through the rose ceremony and really sitting her down and talking to her at the very beginning. And you know what? Ashley seemed to be on guard. From the second that Brad walked down there, I think that she knew she was going home.
She had to have known. Either they had a conversation about it or she could just tell with the way the date went that there was no future for them. So now we're down to our two faves, Emily and Chantel. Obviously, I am totally team Chantel. I think that Brad with Emily might just lose himself. I don't know. I think maybe he would mold to be like her or something like that. He even said that she makes him a better person. I think maybe a different person.
I do love Chantel's spontaneity, and I do think that she's tons of fun and she brings out Brad's fun side. But I can't help it. I'm Team Emily, and I'm really rooting for Emily to pull this through in the end, and I'm hoping that Brad chooses her. And I'm not sure if it's because I love Emily or Brad loves Emily, or we all love Emily, but I'm hoping that Brad proposes to Emily in the end, and she's the final woman standing.
Romantic.
I know.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Nicole, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but next week is the Women Tell All.
I can't wait.
I love the Women Tell All. It is juicy, juicy, juicy goodness. And one person I'm hoping brings the juice is Michelle Money.
You guys know I miss Michelle, and I am hoping that she definitely tells all. She held out on us a little bit in the limo when she got kicked off, but you know what? I'm sure she'll be ready to spill next week, and I can't wait.
Speaking of spilling it, that brings us to the poll question of the week. How many of you out there think that Michelle Money is going to tell all at the Women Tell All? Drop your answer at www.DeAnna-Pappas.com.
That's right, and for more reality show recaps, check out my blog, Keeping It Real, at www.hotmomspot.blogspot.com. DeAnna and I are so excited for the Women Tell All. We are going to be partying up Bachelor style. That means champagne, rose petals, whatevs, all weekend long, getting geared up for Monday night, and we'll be here to dish it for you all on Rose Recap.